You're set?
I
Okay.
am also.
You're set too?
Yep, I'm all good. Thank you.
Well, good evening and welcome on a Friday football season. My name is Sue Mackert. That's SUEMACKERT, and I am Executive Director of PossAbilities of Southern Minnesota. I'm so pleased to have you here. PossAbilities has a very rich heritage of excellence, and tonight we're announcing another milestone to make Rochester and our surrounding communities better places for all to live, work, play, and do business. We're announcing the creation of the PossAbilities Achievement Hub that will be designed by and for members of the community whose areas of expertise have impact on the achievement of children, families, and adults. It's not intended to duplicate or replace existing programs with the plethora of organizations and businesses in Rochester, nor is it intended as a plea in St. Paul or Washington for decision makers to augment revenue at the expense of other critical needs. Taxpayers have spoken, and the trend for trickle-down funding from government will not dissipate soon. Uncertain times call for determined action. If we do nothing, people suffer. So we will continue to see greater gaps in education, elimination of services, unresolved crises in daycare and respite, and greater strain on physical and mental health and public safety entities that we are working so hard to protect. So we're going to kind of roll up our sleeves and bring multidisciplinary thinkers together from education, healthcare, employment, disabilities, and agriculture to plan for an infrastructure that can accommodate all forward-thinking initiatives and any barriers that impact their success. This collaborative approach with established organizations in our expectations will provide greater opportunities. We expect to optimize operations and at the same time drive growth and innovation. So PossAbilities is well positioned to lead this major groundbreaking initiative. We serve 500 individuals and families in Rochester and surrounding communities who are proficient in addressing needs. We have 180 skilled employees and really relish 100% employee retention, which is very, very high in this market. We're financially sound with good governance, and our parent and client population spans all industries, medical to education, service to hospitality, retail to manufacturing. So, how will we accomplish this initiative? The facility for an achievement hub will cost $20 million. Funds to be raised in a grassroots campaign that empowers all people, foundations, and corporate affiliates to be part of a groundbreaking initiative. An advisory council led by former IBM managers and current entrepreneurs Doug and Sue Luby, who are here this evening, will provide direction as the hub is created between now and its intended opening in early 2027, which of course is always late for me. I want it now. It's needed now, but we feel that 2027 is most realistic. RSP architects have been hired to develop concepts and manage development, and we're currently identifying property that can provide space adequate for such a facility. The plan incorporates design for early learning and growth, with spaces for career exploration, entrepreneurial development, therapeutic resources, the arts, nature-based wellness, and family support. We need about 12 to 14 acres, and those acres will then take care of the facility, parking, water retention, green space, and playgrounds. We know that the need for this is long overdue, and there are other areas in the state that are watching, and there are other states within the U.S. that are also watching this, because we're going to use our collective expertise and experience to build something that will help a community sustain so many important services for youth, for seniors, for adults, and for families. I want to introduce individuals that are here this evening and welcome them also to speak. They have far greater experience than I and much to say. So first we have Robin. Robin, would you stand? This is Robin Harkonnen. And Robin is, because they're watching, the state is watching this, Robin happens to be president of an organization called MORE. It's the state professional organization for nonprofit agencies like PossAbilities, and we just really admire her leadership and welcome her here today with us. And I think she has something to say, and then I'll introduce someone else. Is that okay? Okay.
I am honored to be here today as PossAbilities announces an innovative initiative that places shared ownership and problem solving at the forefront of the community. Embracing a multidisciplinary approach will generate pragmatic solutions to issues faced by individuals with disabilities and their families, while successfully creating a fully inclusive, healthy community for residents. The PossAbilities Achievement Hub represents a groundbreaking model that is certain to be replicated in other communities across Minnesota. And as a representative from MORE, we couldn't be more proud of PossAbilities and this initiative. Thank you.
Next, I would like to introduce an extraordinary parent, Deborah Schrader, and her multi-talented daughter, if she wishes to speak, Jenna. And the thing about Deborah as a parent is that she's maneuvered through all aspects of the entities that we're talking about bringing together, and so she has a lot to say. Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to introduce yourself, Jenna?
Hi, I'm Jenna Schrader. I work at PossAbilities. I made pot holders and I do some coloring. And I have good friends and nice boss. And I like Kat, Lucas, and Joe. And my other friends too. And you got it, dude.
So this is our daughter, Jenna. Our story started 49 years ago when we had Jenna. And I noticed a little something was kind of off a bit and saw a doctor. And the doctor there said, "Oh, Mom, don't worry about it. Don't compare her to the other child." But then a very good friend of mine said, "Deborah, I really think that you should explore this a little bit more." And we did. And when we explored it, we had all kinds of tests done, and Jenna was there in her little blue dress with the white smocking and the little pink flowers on it. I can still see her in that little dress. And the doctor walked in and he looked at us and he said, "Well, Mr. and Mrs. Schrader, your daughter is severely mentally retarded, and you should put her in a home." And he actually walked out of the room. My husband and I stared at each other and we were just like, we couldn't believe what we were hearing. And so we had to go home and digest all that. And then we talked with another doctor, and we found other things that were affecting Jenna with like her hearing and stuff. But I quit my job as a nurse and stayed home with Jenna to work with her on climbing stairs, in talking, and in just simple things. And she got into the school system, and that was helpful. But what was really helpful was PossAbilities. When we got into PossAbilities, they helped Jenna, this very quiet little girl, become more social and working with people her own peers and age. And she loved her jobs at PossAbility. They were so important to her. And the staff at PossAbility just treated her with the utmost respect. She works a job outside of her home, and that's 4 hours for like 4 or 5 days a week as a courtesy check. And so, and she also will be out and about, and somebody will say, "Hi, Jenna," and I'm like going, "What?" And she's going, "Oh, that was somebody in my line." You know, it's just like, oh wow, she knows so many people. But what it was that PossAbilities did is they helped Jenna become the sparkling young lady that she is, and she is a big part of our community here in Rochester. She's a working person, she's out in the community, and we wouldn't have been able to do all that without PossAbilities' help. So get a little teary about it because they have been so wonderful to us, and we're fortunate and we're grateful for everything that PossAbility has done for us and for Miss Jenna. So there's our story. Yeah, okay, Jen, we're done.
So how ideal for us to be able to take the expertise that we have as an organization that is focused on youth and families and people with disabilities, and move that out into the broader community so that we serve people of all abilities and teach them some of the same skills. I wanted to talk a little bit about the idea of Achievement Hub. It goes back to our history that when three mothers decided back in the late 50s, early 60s that they did not want to institutionalize their children as had been advised, they started getting networking groups together and talking about we want more. We want more from education. We want our children to have access to the same things. And so they went to the legislature, and the legislature set up what was called back then day achievement centers. So we were one of the first in the state, a day achievement center. And so we're taking that history of achievement and instead of center, creating a hub, which implies the collaboration of many groups coming in and being able to serve families in need and individuals in need, people of all abilities. And so we have some tremendous partners lined up, and that's how it will develop. And I will do my best to be patient between now and the time we open, but expect that in that time period we will have an awful lot of partners and collaborators who see the value of people in our community. I also have some other individuals here who you are welcome to speak to afterward if you wish. The chairs, I'm so proud of Doug and Sue Luby. They are IBM manager retirees, but they still own a business, and they have agreed to chair the PossAbilities campaign for the Achievement Hub, and they are here. There they are. And also, I'm very proud to have a creative team behind us because it's going to take a lot in the community to help. And so we have Deborah Kelly and Michael Hall standing in the wings, and they are tremendous designers. They have their own business. Deborah is also a professor at St. Catherine's and has her PhD in communications from the U of M. Michael is a New York Times award-winning book author, and you can ask him about that if you wish, but they're over here as well. So with that, I'm more than happy to respond to questions or do any interviews you wish with anyone. Over there, over there, over there, you know. And we also have a copy of the case statement for you that has Jenna's story and other information regarding the hub. So that's all I have for you. Yes.
Quick question. Excuse me if I missed it, but who's funding the hub? How is the hub being funded?
It's going to be funded primarily, the facility itself will be
Yeah.
funded through donations, and we want that to be grassroots. We want, there are parents and community members that want to be able to give, and any amount is so crucial for them to be able to invest. And we also have some support in the wings from foundations and corporate donors. We're very pleased that in a very quiet campaign that we started, just very quiet, we have $2.5 million in the bank. And so we know that the interest, the care, and the desire to help their communities. Rochester is a giving community, and we are looking for many wonderful people to come forward. Thank you for being here.